Back with another episode of Local Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Studer. Don't let this break in the heat fool you. We are not out of summer yet. And I wonder how many of you, like me, was wondering, can my air conditioner keep up? Because it was struggling. It was it seemed like it was going the opposite direction rather slowly. So I was able to turn on some fans, circulate air a little bit better, but still, it was really, really tough for the air conditioner to keep up. And there's a reason for that, as it turns out. And that information comes from Travis Waldstein with Serv Heating and Air Conditioning. And I had an opportunity to record a podcast with Travis on Tuesday. And one of the things that he talked about was when it gets hot, like it had been, and as humid as it has been, what that means for your air conditioner. And because you might think it's not working at all, but it is. And it's just really, really struggling because of how hot it is. So I thought, we should bring you a part of that conversation with Travis. And because trust me, the heat's coming back. It's still summertime. We're in the last day of July. We are not out of the heat yet. It is going to get just horribly hot and humid again. And so this information is going to be very, very valuable to you today. So Travis Waldstein coming up on today's episode of Local Roots. Castle & Associates of American Family Insurance is your local insurance provider for all of your home, auto, life, business, and farm insurance needs. 4 convenient locations. They're in Trainer, they're in Council Bluffs, also in Nebraska, in Bellevue and Elkhorn. They are local and in your neighborhood, ready to help you navigate the complexities of insurance today. Travis and his team educate, advise, and simplify insurance, all to protect those things you cherish most. Give them a call for your free quote. Do you or does someone you love need in-home care? Home Care Advocacy Network can help you maintain your own privacy in your own space while still receiving care and support with a personalized touch. Aging in place really is critical for many people. Home Care Advocacy Network can meet those needs with an understanding that assisted living is best at home. HCAN of Southwest Iowa brings the personal touch to care all across the region. Visit hcan.com/Southwest Iowa to learn more. All right, let's find out a little bit more about heat, humidity, and air conditioning from Travis Waldstein from Serv Heating and Air Conditioning. We've been experiencing a little bit of heat lately in our part of the world.
It's been hot. I think there's a bad 80s music song that talks about being hot. Yeah,
that would be Buster Poindexter.
Buster Poindexter. See, that's it. So I'll tell you what, the humidity has been brutal. I saw something last night. A friend of mine does HVAC. Of course, this is 10 o'clock. I'm on Facebook, and he has what they call a digital psychrometer, and measures the actual air temperature and then the humidity, or what we call wet bulb temperature. And like the dry bulb was like 89, the outdoor temp, and the wet bulb was like 83. So, I mean, it wouldn't take much for it to freaking rain. That's how much humidity. Last night I was trying to do a little bit of something at home. I got a little project trying to get done, and literally within 10 minutes, I think I sweated 5 gallons off. It was no kidding. I mean, it was wearing the t-shirt. So it's just like, you might just take the t-shirt off, because all this do is get in the damn way. So
speaking of sweat, I have not heard so many people talking about corn sweat in my life. It seems to be the buzz phrase that's everywhere, living in the Midwest and with all of the cornfields around. And I know you'd posted a video of somebody talking about it, that I don't know if it's accurate or not, about how much moisture and water, really, that an acre of corn will put into the atmosphere in an hour. But it's a crazy amount.
It's a lot. And now going through growing season, I mean, if you sit there and you take a look at, 90s in early June and 90s in September in this part of the country are not the same as what they are in July and August, especially early August. Because the corn is still tasseling. It hasn't, the stalk hasn't started to die off yet. So as long as it's growing, as long as it's, producing, and the moisture puts out, because you can have 95 in September and it's warm, but it's not, you don't have the humidity
Right.
that you do
Yeah, because the
right
corn's
now.
all dry.
Yeah, and with the rain, I mean, we've been wanting rain for 3 years, for 5 years. Well, guess what? We're finally getting rain, and my yard last night, I was out mowing till 10 o'clock. I got home, I had to do this one project, and I mowed till 10 o'clock because my lawnmower was broke. I got it back. Um, no thanks to a bent deck on a 1-year-old John Deere, but we won't talk about that. So I guess don't use your lawnmower as a battering ram is what I got told, basically. So um, anyway, but yeah, it was just, the grass was wet. I mean, it just, I mean, this is, I won't say it's unprecedented, but with the moisture we've had this summer, with the normal rains we've had, the ground's not super dry. In the past, I mean, there's been years where the ground moisture has just been whatever. Well, now we've got what I consider probably more of a normal season. So now we're seeing the humidity, and it's showing up everywhere. I know up in Northwest Iowa last night, I talked to a buddy of mine up in Orange City this morning. They had that, well, I don't know if it was considered derecho, but they had them straight line winds that came through up there. The city, Sioux Center, and I know Orange City up there, they got all tore up last night from these straight line winds. Basically came through at 100 mile per hour for, he said, 5-10 minutes. And these were pretty consistent winds that came through last night. So, I mean, we don't necessarily want that. I mean, we've seen enough days. Rain's okay. That kind of damage, then we don't want to see that. And unfortunately, it's supposed to cool off tomorrow. I have a feeling tonight might be our turn to get some of that. So it's like, well, here we go. So,
Yeah, and that's, as we're recording this, it will have already happened. But yeah, in the forecast, they've got some looks to be some pretty bad storms coming through. So, and with that humidity, I know, in your line of work in the HVAC side, that is huge when it comes to feelings of comfort or where you're at, because your air conditioner could be, really struggling trying to get that humidity out of the air.
Yeah, we are, everybody assume you put an air conditioner that, if it's 110, it'll keep 70 in my house. No, that's not how that's going to work. I mean, realistically, for Southwest Iowa, Eastern Nebraska, Omaha, Council Bluffs, technically, if you listen to National Weather Service and if you go off of the tables are supposed to justify, design outdoors 91 degrees. Well, we know we've had more than several days of 91 degrees.
Right.
I usually figure, as far as sizing equipment, I usually figure 95, and we're wanting to try to maintain 50% humidity in the house. I mean, that's ideal. If you start getting above that, humidity becomes a concern. Now, part of the air conditioner's job is, its number one job is to pull humidity out of the house. But if you're not pulling humidity out, or you're adding heat to the house, it's going to create an issue. Now I'm a big proponent, there's of dehumidifiers now. A lot of people in Iowa, in the Midwest, they have whole house dehumidifiers, and they're expensive. Nobody wants to order them, buy them, but they have dehumidifiers in the house, that they, that people have. But a lot of people don't want to put it in the whole house, but they'll put in a portable. And listen, I'm guilty. I got a portable in my house too. But right now it's really important to keep your portable dehumidifiers running and making sure the hoses are clean and working, because, it'll keep that humidity down to a level where it'll help the air conditioner maintain your temperature. If you're not doing that right now, it's a problem. And where you see it, if you walk down the basement, your water lines are sweating or your ductwork's sweating, anything metal, it's like whatever. I mean, there's such a thing called dew point. When you're talking your wet bulb is 80 some degrees, that means, you bring something out that's colder and that's going to sweat. Your beer can's going to sweat. That's how that's going to work. So, it's a big part of what we do. This is, I won't say extreme, it's pretty typical, but if you're trying to keep your house at 68, it's a problem. If you're trying to keep your house at 74, 75, you're not going to have an issue. And if your air conditioner cycling on and off all the time, that's not a good either, because with it cycling on and off all the time when it's extremely warm, that means it's not doing its number one job, is trying to pull the humidity out of the house. So I got a customer right now. He's got one dehumidifier in his basement. He's got two upstairs, and he doesn't understand why he's having a hard time keeping temperature. Well, I think he's actually overcompensated, if you know what I'm saying, to where he's got like three dehumidifiers, just dehumidifying, but for adding all this extra heat to us, because dehumidifiers do add heat to your home, contrary to what anybody else believes. That is the one thing you will do, in that process. So that's one we got to figure out, see if we can come up with a solution. Of course, after today, it probably won't be a problem, but welcome to air conditioning, and welcome to the fun part. To when we're talking about getting new kids into this stuff, it said you want to be an HVAC technician. You want to be at places where it's hot and places where it's cold. So guess what? We're in places when it's hot, and we're in places when it's cold. So we are not an air conditioned comfort business. So if you need your 72 degrees office, this is not the career for you. But if you don't mind getting hot, stinky, and sweaty and making money in this weather, it's great. So,
well, yeah, and that's why folks get paid. Yeah. That's why it's an appealing thing for younger people. We talk about it all the time, to be able to come into that field and learn a trade, and you get compensated for that discomfort. That's part of it. That's how it works. So,
linemen make really good money too, but linemen don't get paid for when they're out in a truck and they're going to look at utility poles during the day. They get paid for when the lightning's coming down and you're holding them live power lines. That's why they make the big bucks. So keep that in mind. It's just like plumbers. You don't get paid for, fixing the, kitchen faucets when you got to go into the dirty side of things. That's what your compensation's for. And, with HVAC, it's not always 72 degree comfort, if you know what I'm saying. So, right. That's just part of, how that works. So, but you know what? I mean, like I said, we've got some young people, right now, working for us that have been out in the heat. They know what it's about. We had one that got pretty sick yesterday. He was working in a crawl space, and all of a sudden it just overcame him, and he came in today, and I looked right at him, and I looked right at one of his family members that works for us, and I said, he should be at home. I said, because after being at Easter, I said, I really don't want him on the job site. And I said, you need to keep a very close eye on him. I said, if there's one bleep or whatever, I want him out of there, because I do not want to deal with heat stroke. And I looked at him, the tech, and I looked at the family member. I said, do I make myself clear? Yeah. That's all I got. I'm like, okay. It's like, come on. But yeah, that's the thing. You got to switch your Gatorade, your water. I mean, you'd be amazed. I mean, we buy in the summertime, we buy Gatorade once a month, Gatorade water through Pepsi, and we have it here for the guys. And, we'll go through the wintertime and go 2 months, 3 months, and we'll be fine for the most. Might have to buy some water, whatever. Summertime, this next 3 months, man, we go through a lot of it. But, the same thing when you're hot or whatever, we got a, ice machine here so guys can grab ice for stuff. So stuff stays cool all day. And, you deal with it. I mean, they've dealt with it for hundreds of years, and, we have nice things of convenience, so you can actually get some, a little bit of relief when you're out doing it. So, which is a nice benefit or perk, I guess I should say.
That conversation part of the next episode of Travis's podcast, Circle of Trades. You can find Circle of Trades on YouTube. It also has a Facebook page, and you can find the audio-only version on Spotify. So I encourage you to follow Circle of Trades. Travis has been at it for a long time. He's approaching episode 100. I need to go through and take a look and see exactly where we're at, because we need to do something special when Travis hits that 100th episode. And it's going to be coming up really, really soon. And always grateful for everything that Travis does and comes on frequently on the show. He's been a big friend of everything that I have been doing over the past few years. So thank you, Travis, Waldstein family, and everybody over at Aire, Serv Heating and Air Conditioning and Waldstein Plumbing. If you're looking for all natural health solutions in Southwest Iowa, visit Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market in Council Bluffs, serving our area since 1997. Shop a wide selection of vitamins, supplements, essential oils, herbal remedies. It's all there at 805 South Main Street in Council Bluffs. They also have a website, bambisgreenacres.com. Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market, putting health in your hands. And are you in the market for a stylish, locally curated fashion close to home? Visit Unique Boutique Iowa in Neola at 101 4th Street, your destination for trendy clothing in all sizes, accessories, and they also have distinctive gifts. Owned and styled by Jamie Bush, a Neola mom, former educator, UBI, brings a homegrown passion for quality and community to every piece. Open on the weekends, Saturday 10 to 2, Sundays 11 to 3, but you can find them online anytime by going to shopubiowa.com. Unique Boutique Iowa, distinctive styles, heartfelt service, right in Neola. That's going to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for being a part of things. Hope that you were taking some notes. And again, if you need to have that air conditioner looked at, you do any better than by getting hold of Aire Serv Heating and Air Conditioning. AireServCouncilBluffs.com is their website. Just remember, Aire is spelled with an E on the end, A-I-R-E, and Serv without the E, S-E-R-V, CouncilBluffs.com. That's how that website works. That wraps things up for today. My name's Todd Studer. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.